Hey y'all, this is AL Think Madame, and this is the recap for the last episode of Pose. If you already caught up, then you already know why I took a big sigh. Y'all, the absolute most happened in this episode, and I am exhausted. Y'all, I didn't watch it the night of, I watched it the next day, but leading up to it, one of my friends kept texting me and she was like, did you watch Pose yet? Did you watch Pose yet? I watched the first 2 minutes and I'm already tired. Like, I'm just like, what? The most that already happened in the first 2 minutes, y'all. Okay, let me go ahead and get into this because I'm just going I'm not going to even be able to get through it if I don't go ahead and start. So anyway, I've wasted a minute of y'all's laugh, so let's get started. So anyway, y'all, it started off with Pray Tell actually showing Ricky things that he needs to do as far as taking different vitamins, different herbs, and all that stuff, so, he can try to be in the best of health that he can be in since he found out that he is indeed HIV positive. So, he still hasn't told Damon about his status. And since he hasn't told him, I don't even think he's told the guy he was cheating with, Chris, which, he found out that he had it because he mentioned it to him, was calling him and crying on the phone about it. So, y'all, I'm tired. Anyway, he is still over here trying to hit on Pray Tell, and I'm just like, why is this happening? Why? Y'all, anyway, so they were, spending time together, just watching TV and all that stuff and trying to eat healthy and, with the vitamins and the herbs and all that stuff that he was teaching him about. It got late and, Pray Tell thought he was going to leave, and he was like, well, I would go, but this is around the time that Electra brings home these undesirables. These random people, they're just so weird or whatever. They're just so out there, and he don't even want to walk in on that situation popping off. So he was like, I'm just going to spend the night. And so he was like, okay, let me get you some sheets and a pillow. Let him know the couch is actually very uncomfortable and all the good stuff. So do what you do. I'm going to bed. Bye. So he went in his room, and y'all know he's into the skincare. Had to get his skincare routine going. He did that. Y'all, Pray Tell in the bed with his eyes closed. All of a sudden, Ricky decides to come into the room. Come on in my room. I'm pretty sure nobody was singing that song, but for some reason, Ricky decided to come on in the room. I was just like, sir. And I knew it. Half of me was like, okay, either he gonna do what he's supposed to do and stay away, or he gonna watch it. But a bigger part of me was just like, he gonna roll up. He gonna roll up in that room, watch. And that's what he did. He politely just rolled right up in there. He went right on up in there, got in the bed with him like it wasn't nothing. And so Pray Tell opens his eyes and looked at him like, and what are you doing? He was like, I figured you had a big bed, so I came in here, and you were right. That couch is very uncomfortable, y'all. I'm so tired, y'all. They know they be knowing they're wrong for the song choices that they put on here, but I be here for it. They ended up playing that Whip Appeal song that I like. And is that Babyface or was it the group that he was in? But anyway, you hear Babyface Whip Appeal play, and Ricky proceeds to let Pray Tell know that he is here for him. And I was just like, oh my gosh, I'm tired. Y'all, they started kissing and doing the most. Y'all, they eventually had sex. And I was like this. And the entire time trying to clutch something, and I didn't have the first necklace. I didn't have nothing. I was just clutching and clutching and clutching because I was just like, I cannot believe that Pray Tell did not say to him, no, I am your elder. Whatever. And that's a part of what they're supposed to be about. You don't have sex with these people that are younger than you, that look up to you, if you are a part of this scene. You know what I'm saying? As far as, you're in the ballroom scene, or you are one of the people who has a house that has kids in them. He is, part of the ballroom scene. So yeah, he is not supposed to be having sex with any of these people, but he did. They did the most. Anyway, y'all, so Angel and Esteban are bonding over a moment where she is sharing the photos that were taken of her for her BB photo shoot. And y'all, I thought that photographer was gonna try something, but apparently he didn't really do that much or whatever. And so she was, happy. She was like, well, I guess he didn't say nothing. He didn't try nothing. And, he knows exactly who she is, meaning, where she was before modeling came about, and quite possibly not quite possibly, he actually knows what she's working with down there as well. So I don't know if he's just holding on to that card to play later on in life or what. I kind of feel like that's what's going on. But yeah, as of right now, he ain't saying that. So she happy about it. She said that the pictures came out great. He was the photographer for that, and they contracted him out. He did his job, and it wasn't as bad as she thought it was going to be. Definitely not like that time that he was contracted out before by Mrs. Ford, and he did the most. Y'all, so anyway, they were talking, and then eventually he was like, I got a surprise for you. I want to show you something. So they ended up going to this really, really, really big place, and apparently it's one of his friends' place. And she was like, this place is so big, and she was worried about whether or not it would be affordable for Blanca, and it was just so much space. And, she's thinking of everybody moving in, but he was like, it's $450 a month, and it's, you're growing and you need a place of your own. You need this type of space that everybody around you has and all this other stuff. So, right now she's going to think about it, but she does have the money to do it. So she really could move out. So, and, I'm glad that he wasn't trying to be trifling and be like, yeah, we can move in together, because some people be doing the most. And she made it plain and very, very clear. I had a situation before, and the dude was basically buying me, and I only had the place because I was his plaything whenever he wasn't with his wife. And, she was kind of excited about the idea of it being a place that's hers. So I was like, I'm here for it. In a sense, I am, but I don't know if she is mature enough to do that. I don't know if she's going to spiral out of control with the drugs and all that stuff, which I'm kind of thinking is going to happen, but I don't want that to happen. I understand that it's very common in the modeling industry, but I don't want that to happen to her. I want her to let that be short-lived and move past it and just be greater than all these other people out there. So anyway, y'all, Pray Tell is walking down the street. He is on the way to his bi-monthly meeting with all the other people that are like the masters of ceremony and all that, the people who are the judges at the balls, right? He is walking and has an extremely large spring in his step. Pun intended, and it really wasn't intended either, but it just happened. But yeah, he walk up in there like his skin is glowing, like he doing the most. And they looking at him like, you're late by the time you get here. And then, of course, they were like, okay, what's going on? I see, this glow. And I was like, oh my gosh. So it got to the point where, they kind of died down on that. But at the same time, he was being very much so not himself, because they would bring up different categories that they wanted to try to put out there, and he was just here for anything they threw out there. He was just so happy and full of life. And they were like, something ain't right. How you just gonna sit up here and just say yes to everything? Normally you fight us on this every single time. He was like, no, I don't. And they were like, yes, you do. So it got to the point where eventually he let the cat out of the bag and was like, yep, I have a lover. And everybody was like, oh my gosh, because the last person he was with was his boyfriend who ended up passing away. And he was like, look, don't worry about all that. He's younger. And then eventually he told them that it was Ricky. And I'm like, why you told him that I wouldn't have told him, because at first they were all the way here for it because the fact that it's a younger man. But then when they found out it was Ricky, they were just like, mm-mm. And they were reading and they were talking about how he's a man whore and all that other stuff, which is true. And I was just like, oh my gosh, it's a lot. So anyway, I found it interesting, but not really. I mean, I did. That they asked if they knew what his status was, and he was like, look, don't worry about all that. I'm not going to tell y'all what his status is, because his status is his business and all this other stuff. And so, as anybody else who has eyes would know, they asked, okay, well, what is going on? Well, what's going to happen when Miss Damon finds out? Because you know that Damon is the ex. Y'all, I cannot. So anyway, he said he ain't worried about the situation as far as him screwing Ricky and all the other stuff and what Damon gonna think. All he's really worried about is telling Blanca, because, you know, essentially he is and or was one of her children. And the other person that it would hurt in the situation is Damon. So anyway, he was just worried about how that friendship is gonna pan out, y'all. So anyway, Damon and Ricky are actually at the house of Evangelista alone. Everybody's gone doing whatever they're doing. And they had a moment, and Damon was like, you know, I'm done with, you know, punishing you. I want us to get back together. And so I thought Ricky was going to be trifling, but he didn't. And he was like, I got something to tell you. And eventually he was able to come out with the fact that he's HIV positive. And Damon like laughed, because it's like, okay, you got to be joking, right? He was like, y'all, he had a moment where he was just like, and I've seen that actually happen before, where you hear some terrible news or something that's like so unbelievable to you that you don't believe it, and it's just like, let me go back to doing what I was doing. Like, he did that for a second, and then he came back to him and was like, are you crazy? Are you serious? Like, he went all the way off. I was like, oh my God, y'all, he had a breakdown. And eventually, you know, it got to the point, because this is the only reason why it kind of came up outside of the fact that he kissed him. Damon kissed him. They were trying to eat, and so he normally has like bagel bites or pizza rolls or something like that. And so he was like, oh, I can't eat those. And he was like, what do you mean? We used to eat this stuff all the time. He was like, well, you know, I'm watching my figure. I have a more sophisticated palate these days. And so he makes a point to say that Pray Tell has been teaching him some things. So that's why he was able to pick up on the fact that he probably had sex with Pray Tell as well. So went off on him and told him to get out the house, y'all. I was just like, oh my gosh, y'all. Anyway, so you know Damon is in his feelings by finding this out, and he doesn't even know if he has anything at this point. Anyway, he's having this recital, which just so happens to be his actual graduation from the program. So I was like, yes, you better do that. Y'all, he performed. He really did perform. He was dancing. Something. I live for the way he dances. So he did an amazing job. His teacher was here for it. The teacher in Blanca had a moment, and she was just like, I feel as though I will never cross paths with another mother that is as passionate about what their child is doing. And, you know, it's just refreshing. You know what I'm saying? She was very involved. And so she was like, there are some people that just want to do things, and there are some people that are meant to be greater than great. And I was just like, ooh, want to leave a legacy behind. I was like, yes, Lord, all right. But yeah, they had a moment, and it was very beautiful. Like, she actually admired Blanca. And I was like, wow. Okay, y'all, so they had a party back in the house, right? Of course, it went sideways. Y'all, Angel and Damon started going back and forth. And I was just like, oh my gosh. Like, they kept throwing shots at each other, y'all. I'm talking about reading down. I was just like, oh my gosh, no. Oh, Lord. It got to the point where he said something about her having cocaine sweats. And Blanca was like, what? Y'all, Damon ended up going off on everybody. And when I say everybody, I was talking about everybody who even looked like they was going to say something to him. He went off on them. Went off on his mama. Went off on Pray Tell. Y'all, it was a lot. So, yeah. When he called Angel out on what she'd been doing, Blanca tried to act as if, no, that's a lie. She said that's a lie. No, she said she didn't do it, so she didn't do it. And he was like, when have I ever lied to you? So you just gonna believe her over me? And you know, y'all know the situation before when Poppy was sitting up there selling weed now. She kicked him out. He was out of the house for a month. So it's like, how you gonna sit up here and be like, well, I don't believe her. I don't believe him. I don't believe what you're saying. I believe my daughter. And there were no repercussions. And so I was just like, whoa, wait a minute. I mean, she didn't say, is this true or anything? She was just like, no, I don't believe it. And she said it didn't happen, so nope. Y'all, it got so bad. Pray Tell and Damon started going back and forth. Oh, Lord, y'all, I had to clutch my pearls again because it got so bad. I was like, no. He ended up reading Pray Tell. Pray Tell did not see that coming. Ended up calling him some kind of a slut. He ended up raising all the way up out of his seat. Y'all, I feel if Damon hadn't stepped to the side and just not done anything, I feel like Pray Tell's face was going to be scratched up, beat up, and some more. He going to have a black eye and scratched up face. All that hard work that he does at night would have went to waste. Because, ooh, Damon was gonna set it off. Y'all, Electra ended up saying to Pray Tell that he was laying down and when he should have been standing up. I was like, you better read. And that was the truth. You better tell him. You better tell him that. But y'all, anyway, it got to the point where Blanca did throw him out. And because she wanted to know if it was true or not about Ricky and him sleeping together. And he was like, yeah, he's a grown man. I'm a grown man. And y'all, it was just too much. Anyway, they ended up having a ball, and it was pretty cool. And, of course, Pray Tell's favorite category is Femme Queen Vogue. Damon had to go and show all of the way out. And before that happened, there were just moments where Blanca and Angel were talking, and then he approached them. It was like, oh, well, I didn't know we were having a family meeting. So when the category and all that stuff started, other people had already started dancing and all that. He was like, I have somewhere to be. And so he ended up going on the floor. He said it all the way off. I was like, wait a minute, sir. And I don't know if the way he has been dancing lately is because of his natural born passion, or if it is a culmination of that and the fact that he's so angry with everything that he's found out lately. I kind of feel like it's the second. Y'all, he showed out. He won the trophy, and Pray Tell kept trying to read throughout. I was like, oh, you mad at me? Are you mad? And it's like, if you weren't, even though you weren't there, meaning anybody who wasn't at the house when all that stuff went down, you would have just thought it was just Pray Tell being Pray Tell at a ball. But he was doing the most. When he went up there to get his trophy, he rolled his eyes at Pray Tell. And Pray Tell was like, don't you be rolling your eyes at me. I was like, oh my gosh, no. Y'all, it was so bad that Pray Tell ended up taking a break. He had to go take him a smoke break. So anyway, yeah, him and Blanca got into it. She followed him outside. And they got into it real bad, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this friendship finna be over, really? Oh my gosh, y'all, it's bad. Pray Tell then actually went home after the ball. He is passed out drunk. Ricky pops up for wherever he been at all night. Who he been screwing, I don't know, because that's literally what he seems to do. He just go out, screw everybody, and then come wherever he gonna lay his head. I don't be understanding why everybody let him live places, because he don't do nothing. And as people have been calling him, which is an ongoing joke since the joke has been released, I don't know how many years ago, people have been calling him a homeless sexual. Because y'all, when I first saw him, like literally the first episode I saw him on, I was like, is he gay? Is he straight? is he bi? Is he trisexual? Like, what is he pansexual? Like, what is he? Like, I could not understand what was going on, because when I first saw him, he seemed like he was really into women. But then he started doing other stuff. I was like, so you into everybody? I just feel like you into anybody that'll allow you to lay your head somewhere and sleep that night. Like, I don't know what's going on. So he just lays it down so that he can have somewhere to sleep. I cannot. So anyway, y'all, Ricky came in, like I said, he done took the bottle out of Pray Tell's hand, and Pray Tell is drunk. And he read him, and he was just like, look, I have nobody to turn to now, because the person who he turns to all the time, of course, is Blanca. He was like, I ain't got no friendship no more. That was the only person I could talk to. I ain't got her no more. I stood up for you when I shouldn't have. And he told me I messed my friendship up with Blanca, and you can tell that he is really deep in his feelings. And so he told Ricky that he knows who he is. I know you. You know what I'm saying? Basically, like, he knows the type of guy that he is. He making it seem like he's that type of guy that he's here right now, but he'll be gone in the morning, and he'll be alone. Y'all, but the next day when he woke up, he go in the living room, the dining room, the dining room, and he got it decked out in there. He done cooked breakfast and made coffee. And he was like, what is this? He was like, well, I know you probably have a headache from all that drinking that you were doing. And y'all, he did the most. Made breakfast. And he was like, I can't believe you're still here. I was just like, he needs somewhere to sleep, sir. That's why he there. What is going on here? Like, I understand you in your 40s, you're older than him, but why are you getting played? I don't know. It's like half of me want to believe that Ricky kind of likes him a little bit, but I don't know. He might be using him to have somewhere to stay, because he definitely is not going to be able to go back to the house in Evangelista. He didn't win that Vogue thing with Madonna, so he definitely does not have a place to stay as far as Electra is concerned. And he ain't got no money, so he can't go somewhere and just spend the night or a week somewhere. So he got a screw to have somewhere to live, I guess. So that's why everybody is going to be continually calling him a homeless sexual. So anyway, Blanca and Angel met up at a diner at some restaurant or whatever it was. And she basically was like, you didn't call me out. You didn't ask me anything. You didn't, punish me. You didn't, whatever. And so she was like, look, I did drugs. So what you gonna do? Trying to challenge her to do what she is supposed to do. Like, she's made these rules in the past, and everybody else had to abide by. Why doesn't she have to? So she was like, look, you're my only daughter, and whatever. She was like, there's no excuse. The rules are the rules. You're my mother. And so I'm like, oh, Lord. So it got to the point where in my mind, I was just like, why? Now, if you didn't have nowhere to live, if you didn't have this modeling stuff going for you, and you had no money coming in, you wouldn't have been sitting up here trying your best to tell her to be the mother that she's been to the other people and discipline them. Because you want somewhere to live. You want somewhere to eat. You want some stability. You don't really want to go back out to those streets like that, because it can be hard and you could end up like Candy. So let's be real. If you wouldn't have had that money, you wouldn't have been sitting up there saying all this. But anyway, she said all that just to say, well, I found a place. Esteban found this place. Poppy, he found this place, and I'm going to move, and we might move together and all this other stuff. And so she going to be there at the house without two of her, 3 or 4 kids. Oh, whatever. Y'all, she moving out. So then Blanca came home and tried to talk to Damon. Damon didn't want to talk to her, and it was just like, I hear everything you're saying, but whatever. So she was about to leave the room, and then he was like, well, I'm going on tour. And he asked her if she knew this person, somebody McLaren or something like that. And so she was like, I think I've heard of them, and they have this tour going on. He gonna be gone for at least a year touring. And so she was like, oh my gosh, that's so amazing. I knew you would be something. And that's when she found out that it was going to be in Europe. So she was immediately, sad and you know, still proud, but sad. And it's just to the point where he ain't gonna be there. Angel ain't gonna be there. Ain't nobody gonna be there, so she gonna be by herself. Y'all, Electra is at what I like to call the dungeon, and she's talking to Blanca, so Blanca is trying to tell her about how she feel. And so she was like, look, that's what being a mother's about, and there'll be other children. She was like, they won't be anything like these kids. I'm like, girl, stop. Anyway, you could just tell she's deep in her feelings. So anyway, she literally lives alone now, and at the end, she ended up breaking down while she was having dinner by herself. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoyed this review. Wonder if y'all were clutching your pearls just like I was when all that stuff was going on between Ricky and Pray Tell, because the most was happening and I was tired. Anyway, y'all have a good one, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye.